What's good? It's your boy Trouble T Roy. Hit Don't Get Hit Boxing Talk, and we back with another one. And it goes. So we just had a interesting Saturday night of boxing. I'll go ahead and give my big ups to Abdullah Mason for his fight. I didn't get to watch it, so hopefully I get to I can go back and watch it. I haven't had a chance to. Big ups to him for winning his match. I heard that it was a pretty back and forth, but he pulled it off, so that's good work right there. He's one of my favorite prospects, so yeah, it's good to know that he's still continuing on now. He's a champion. And Bam Rodriguez, I didn't get to watch his whole fight because I was up and down. I was moving all over the place when he was fighting. But shout out to him. He got, I think a 10-round knockout. I didn't see the end of the fight. But congratulations and big up to him. He's still doing his thing. It's cool, you know. And the two fights that I want to kind of touch bases on is obviously the Haney versus Norman Jr. and Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. So, yeah, man. To sum it all up for me, I'll just put it this way: I didn't have no real picks in those two fights. Like, I had Mason winning his fight, I had Bam winning his fight, but between Haney and Norman, I was leaning more towards Norman Jr. And between Benavidez and Yarde, I figured Benavidez would win it. Because Yarde, I figured Yarde wouldn't have the gas tank to continue on with Benavidez. But I can't say that I'm impressed with Haney. I'm going to start with Haney versus Norman Jr. I didn't see nothing that was so impressive by Haney. I was more disappointed in the way Norman performed. And, you know, I was talking to people, and we all really, more than anything, I guess you could say wanted or hoped to see Haney lose this one. You know, we had a lot of hope in Norman. We felt like he had the abilities. We felt like he had the speed. We definitely felt like he had the power. We said, both Junior and Senior kept saying that Norman had the footwork to be able to cut off the ring and move around and everything like that. But, you know, he had that left hook that they kept talking about, which is what he knocked out his last opponent with. We was hyped up to see something that Haney wasn't going to be able to take. Norman's a bigger guy with power, with speed, and somebody that could stick with him, you know, cut off the ring, all that good shit. We thought that's what we was going to see because that's what we was fed. But Haney is just he's a smart fighter. He's smart. I don't like his style at all. I really don't. But he was a two division one-time undisputed champion coming into this fight. the experience definitely paid off for Haney. Norman never been in any big fights. This was his first time in the under the big lights, you know, and he just Norman just showed that he's young, 25 years old. I'm not gonna take anything away from him. I mean, I still believe that he's a good fighter. I believe that he's going to bounce back and continue to do well for himself. But this fight, Haney just showed his experience. I mean, he's been in there with some names, probably not in their primes, but he's been in there with some names of some guys that was even more experienced than him. So for Haney to go in there and use that, I mean, that's a special thing when you could use your experience that well. And I mean, for what it sounded like, the preparation was, Haney's always been serious about preparation for fights, so that's nothing I would ever take away from him. He takes his fight seriously, and that's what I can say about him. He don't take no fight. He don't take nothing. I mean, the Ryan Garcia fight, I'm not really sure. That's a whole weird situation because they want to put it on the whole, ped thing, but I'm sorry, peds don't make you a better fighter. I think Ryan just got the better, was the better for that night, the better out of the two. I don't think Ryan's a good fighter either, which makes it interesting that the last two fights that Dev was in was Ryan and then Ramirez. You got your ass beat against Ryan. And like I said, those pads don't make you a better fighter at all. Those pads don't mean more skill. I never thought Ryan was a skillful fighter. He's just a dude. He's flashy. That's it to me. But you get in there with Ryan, you look like shit. You get your ass beat. Knocked down with 4 times or something like that. Then you get in there, I don't know how many months or a year later or whatever, get in there with Ramirez, and you run for 12 rounds. So automatically, motherfuckers is just going to be thinking like, nigga, if he fought like that his last 2 fights, what is he going to do against Norman Brown, who I believe is stronger than Ryan, who's the same size as Devin? Because even Ryan Garcia was the same size as Devin. Look what happened to him there. Ramirez is not a small dude. Look what he did in that fight. So I'm putting the puzzle together like, yeah, ain't no way he's gonna look good against Norman Jr. But the experience, the fucking experience. That's one thing I will not take away from Dev. His experience is what gets him through. His experience and his discipline. He tries to live like, I think he tries to live a lot like Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd Mayweather Jr. So I guess whatever he's learned from Floyd Mayweather, he's kept on, and it's getting him this far, whether we like it or not. I don't like Devin's style, but if he's able to take you out of your ways in the ring, like he did with Norman, then that just shows this dude. I mean, Devin, he's smart. He's really smart, and he's really disciplined. You can't take that away from him. So, I mean, there ain't really much else I could really say about that fight. Devin got he got the win clearly. Like I said, it wasn't the best fight to watch. I mean, I kind of looked out after I seen what was happening to Norman Jr. I just kind of drifted off and started doing other stuff. Got on my phone, or I was making me some food to eat for dinner and all this stuff. I was just kind of like, okay, well, I see where this fight's going. If you took Norman down and hurt him in the second round, then I really don't see this going too much further, because I can already see Norman doesn't know what to do. He's been taken out of his element. And Devin Haney is pretty good about taking you out of your element. He's shown it many times. Like I said, Devin Haney doesn't impress me, but he's good at what he does. When you're able to take somebody out of their element, that means you're good at what you do, and you're you know, you have that kind of power over like mentally over other people. When you got that kind of power mentally over other people, that shows like, hey, you know, I mean, it is what it is, you know. But yeah, man, I mean, big ups to Devin. We call him Devo Dev. That shit crazy. I mean, I didn't really see a Devo in them. Pause. But the nigga did what he had to do, and hey, I can't take that away from him. Like I said, I wasn't impressed by what he did because, you know, he's just, he was being typical Dev Haney, but you know, it is what it is. He did what he had to do, and that's the kind of fighter he is. I'm gonna do what I have to do. I ain't gonna do more than I have to do, type shit. You know, but it is what it is. Good fight overall for the most part. I wasn't super hyped about it when it, you know, but you know, I made a bad pick because, like I said, I was leaning towards Brian Norman. I never made any official picks because I was gonna do a video making my official picks the day before the fights, but I decided not to because I was just still like, I want to pick Norman, but there was just something in the air, you know. But anyways, then going to the main event, yeah, David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. That fight, once again, another performance where I was not impressed by the winner. But this one, I was very disappointed in the loser. David Benavidez still does not do anything that's impressive to me. I'm sorry, you can call it hate or whatever you want. He's not impressive. You're talking about a guy who ain't... David doesn't do anything impressive. Those little shoe shiners and with the 18 punch combo, 18 hook combo that he put, it's like Yarde just did everything wrong in that fight. Just like I would say about Norman. I think Norman was more, I don't know if he was more starstruck or just the plan that they had was just the only plan they had and they didn't make any adjustments. But Yarde has been in there with some motherfuckers, some niggas that beat anybody almost. So Yarde should have been dwelling off the experience, especially since I believe he's been a career 175er. I don't know if he ever fought at 168, but yeah, I don't know what Yarde was doing in there. Oh, and another thing about Norman, what he did wrong to me, because a lot of people want to blame the clinching this time on mainly Devin Haney, but Norman was smothering his punches and getting himself locked in 2 clinches. Whether it was him initiating the clinch or it was Devin Haney. But he was smothering his work so bad, it didn't even make sense. And I could tell it was just off of pure, I'm desperate. I need to get, after getting that knockdown, after he got knocked down, it was, everything else just went, they had no plan B, and Norman Jr. was in there desperate. So that was my take on most of the fight. Like, you know, he knew he had to get knocked down and knock out, and that was all he was going for. And yeah, that wasn't the right game plan. So, but anyways, yeah, Yarde, I don't fucking understand why are you fighting backing up? Why are you fighting backing up? Why are you trying to fight off the back foot? Why are you trying to fight off the fucking ropes with your back to the ropes? Why? I don't understand that. Like, it's like Yarde just like, he just like took the tape and rewinded it to I don't know how to box. I don't know how to fight. I don't know how to pressure a dude that's it's like, dude, you're a 175 pounder. You've been doing this at this weight for a long time. You've been in with probably the strongest boxer in boxing right now. And you look way better against him than you did Benavidez, who's still trying to figure out what weight he wants to fight at and what he wants to do with his career. Like I didn't expect him to win, but I expected him to look a lot better than that. You're backing up, constantly backing up into corners, into the ropes, into corners, into the ropes. You're backing up. You're trying to fight out of I guess it's a Philly shell, which I ain't never understood why you still try to do that, because you suck. Or you're fighting with your hands down, backing up, into the corner, into the ropes, into the corner. It's like that fight. Yeah, that didn't make sense. I didn't see anything David did that would have me like, oh man, he is the monster. Like, no. And if he really was the monster, he would go ahead and prove his stat 175 and fight either Bivol or Benavidez. But he's already talking about going, from what I understand, he's already talking about going up to cruiserweight and fighting Zerto. So that fight was kind of trash to me. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Benavidez did exactly what he was supposed to do. If he didn't do it, if he fought that Yarde that showed up, if Benavidez didn't fight him like that, then I would have been like, yo, Benavidez, you ain't it. But he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Beat the shit out of him, stopped him, got his first stoppage at 175 against a Yarde is just too inconsistent for me. Sometimes he looks good. Sometimes he just looks like, what the fuck are you doing? He needs to get new trainers or something if he's going to try to continue to compete at the high levels of boxing in that weight class. Or and don't go up to cruiser fighting like that. You know, Yarde needs to reevaluate what he has around him and who he has around him and what he's doing, because it's like, did you even train? I think he's from the UK. I'm sure he lives out there, so it ain't like it was a time zone situation. Like the timing was off for him. You know, I don't know, but that was sad. Like I said, I'm just disappointed in Yarde. I ain't got really nothing to say about David like that. Like, David, you just did what David does against another. I'm still saying, like, you ain't fought a champion since like, or you ain't fought for a legit title. You ain't fought for a legit title since 2017 for a vacant WBC title at 168. You was elevated to this, so I'm not going to praise you for fighting guys who aren't champions. The only guys I care for you to fight is Bivol or Benavidez. I am interested in the Zerto fight, but I don't care for it that much for it to be a big thing. Bivol, Benavidez, stay your ass at 175 and fight them. Or Benavidez is talking about going up to, or from what I heard, it's rumored that he's talking about going up to cruiser. So get him at cruiser. I mean, come on, man. Devin Benavidez, his career to me is like a whole just womp, womp, womp. Yeah, you're just fighting guys that's really irrelevant. You talk about, possibly fighting, Smith next? Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't understand why you would fight him, to be honest, because he doesn't have a belt. It's like, you don't want a belt. I mean, you got a belt, but you don't want more belts. You was elevated to a champion. You didn't fight for that shit. Fucking the organizations did you a favor and took a belt from DeVoe, so it's not like you earned it like that. If we could give Devin Haney heat for being elevated to WBC champion, then I could give you heat for being elevated to WBC champion. Elevated, emailed, all those. I want to see you fight a champion. But it is what it is. I'm going to call it right here. It's your boy, Trouble T. Roy. Don't get hit, Boxing Talk. Like, share, subscribe. And all that good shit. Oh, yeah, comment. You know, I know a lot of people probably going to talk shit to me. Whether on here or on Twitter, but that's all right. I don't give a fuck. Because I'll talk shit back. I'm not emotional about this shit. I watch this shit to see people get beat up. Ain't no reason to be emotional about boxing. All right. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.